Hey, YouTubers!
What's up, guys? That's MJ. I'm Mark. I just decided to join in with that right now. But guys, we're going to be talking to you guys today about episode 97 of Dragon Ball Super and whether or not every single episode of the Tournament of Power is going to be a minute or less. Or maybe more. I mean, we're just going to be discussing it honestly. And before we get into this, I want everyone to say hello, and I want him to say hello to you guys. MJ, what's up, man?
What's up? Nah, I'm ready to talk about this, man. You got me hyped for this video. I mean, you just hyped each other up off of those amazing vocal cords that we just showed off. But let's talk about this, man.
I wasn't expecting to even copy you or what you were doing. But anyway, guys, so we're going to be talking about episode 97, I think it was, yeah?
Yes, sir.
So, the Tournament of Chaos, to coin Dimsy's domain, is among us. And we're actually getting to see how they're going to be portraying this tournament with each passing episode. And, you know, I think you and I can agree that it was just nothing but complete chaos. Dimsy was absolutely right. Everyone just started fighting everyone. There's no really rhyme or reason to anything going on right now. But as this basically plays out, I'm sure they'll figure out some kind of a narrative as it just goes on. But the one thing that really caught my interest at the very end of this tournament, or the very end of this particular episode, is the fact that they said, you know, 47 minutes remain. So everything we saw in that last, what was it, 10 minutes of fighting, maybe even more, was one whole minute of fighting. And I just think that that's so ridiculous. And whether or not this is going to be something that is actually common going through the rest of this particular arc is whether or not all these episodes are going to be a minute long, showing the full situation of this particular fight. And you know what? Before you talk, I want to just kind of make it clear. I would love this. Like, I would absolutely fucking love this. Like, look, okay. One of the biggest gripes I've had with Dragon Ball Super this entire time is because it's not basically trying to catch up with the manga at this point. It's had ridiculously slow arcs. But also arcs that take way too few episodes to tell their story. I mean, the longest arc we had before this thing was the Future Trunks arc, and that was only, what, like 20-something episodes? Like 28 episodes? It was
21.
See, like, and while that felt really long after all was said and done, there were epic fights throughout, but there was nothing, like, seriously epic to keep us watching week to week to week. But they have been playing this particular arc for so long. This is their moneymaker. And I know a lot of people are saying that potentially it could end. I don't think it's ending anytime soon. But this is the thing that we've been building towards. This is something they've worked really, really hard on. This is something they're going to want to last a long time. So could we potentially be seeing, this is the first episode in a 48-minute fight. Potentially 48 episode fight if it continues going down this path. Not even longer, or maybe even a little shorter. Is this the first episode in almost a year? Like literally a year of just watching this tournament play out? Or is this just the beginning and they're playing it really slow right now? What are your thoughts, man?
I love the fact that people were getting tired of the narrator going 3 hours left until the tournament, or 45 minutes left until the tournament. It's so funny because I bet you he was like, all right, I'm done. I'm lying, motherfuckers, I'm back. 47 minutes left until the tournament power is done. 46 minutes. No, I just love that because I saw those comments. People were kind of getting tired of the narrator, but now he's back full throttle.
He is. Yeah, and it's going to be even more obnoxious now. It's like 46 minutes, 45 minutes. It's like, how many fucking bottles of beer on the wall? God damn.
There's a video. I'm not sure if you've seen it yet, but there's a video that a guy he compiled the fighting right when the Grand Prix goes, Hajime, start the tournament. Right until then, he starts a video. It's a minute long. And he compiled every single moment in episode 97 into a minute. So it's like watching the Tournament of Power real time.
Dude,
so
that's
it's
cool.
on YouTube. Yeah, I like the video. Go to my channel, guys. You'll see a video that I liked because my likes go to my channel. You'll be able to watch it there.
Just link it to me. And
Okay,
I'll put
I'll
it in the description for everyone to watch, because
okay.
that's awesome. I want to see it. I don't want to have to go look for it.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'll link it to you in a little bit. But that's a cool little thing to note. However, though, going back to the topic is, yeah, I would like it. Some people wouldn't, but I would really, really like it. And here's why. Here's one big reason why. Because we can get a lot of character moments. I know people are saying, well, we're just in the world of Void, MJ, how can you do that? We've done videos before in the past where we've talked about them potentially leaving the Tournament of Power and kind of cutting back to Earth, cutting back to, you know, different planets, you know, showing the point of view from people from different universes. They could easily do that for just one full episode, or maybe even more. And then on top of that, you can start doing like flashbacks. You know, people, you know, have heard the phrase before, you know, like when your life flashes right before your eyes, you know, you can easily get moments like that. They can get very creative with it. And that's kind of like what I wanted in the Universe 6 tournament. I mean, we really only got like a flashback for Frost, and that was pretty much it, you know. I really want to see more flashbacks. I want to see what these characters are about. Let us get a flashback of Topo before he gets defeated, on how like maybe he put together the Pride Troopers, or, you know, how he became the leader. That would be a really cool thing, because I think Topo's an interesting character. So, at least in my opinion, there's a lot of ways you can go about this, and I think having the tournament actually be that long would be amazing. And plus, I agree with Mark. I feel like these arcs, even though they're long, they're very short, and that's kind of bad. So, in a way, I would want for this arc to actually feel long, fleshed out. We got a lot of cool character moments, and then have it actually be one of the longest arcs in Super, you know?
No,
because think about it. It would be like 68, 69 episodes if you count the Zen Exhibition arc, the recruitment arc, and the tournament arc all together. That's like literally Z-linked episodes, you know what I mean? Like a Z-linked arc, you know?
No, yeah, I completely agree with you. In fact, I mean, we were going over this right before we started recording. In fact, you were the one who asked me to basically check. I had to literally, and honestly, I don't know where every episode ends and starts. Neither does MJ, like right off the top of our heads, but looking at our Blu-ray collections, we realized that, you know, when they went to Namek, or at least when they were deciding to go to Namek or close to that time, it was like, what, episode 40?
Yeah, episode 40, 41, and then it ends, like, I guess the fight with Frieza ends like around 107, 108, so that's like a 60-something episode arc if you count everything together. And, you know, a Namek arc, the Ginyu arc, and then, of course, the Frieza arc, or Saga, whatever you want to call it.
And then if you might, and I'm not necessarily sure, there are probably people in the comment section, people listening to this right now, who absolutely know one way or the other, but you can basically add in to any real degree the like resurrection of Frieza, or, you know, when Trunks fought Frieza. I'm sure that has something to do with it or something. You know, it's part of that arc. So I'm not necessarily sure, but I mean, 440 to 107, that's a huge arc. But you know, like, I'm gonna drop this bomb right now. One of the reasons I love this, one of the reasons I love this idea, is not just for what we're seeing on screen week to week right now, but it literally gives Toritaro and Toriyama, as long as he wants to continue doing this, almost a year. Literally a year to come up with a better arc, a new arc, something to basically jump off from this. And, you know, to be very clear, he started working, I believe the thought was he started working on the Future Trunks arc in, what, August or September before it actually started, which was, it basically started... It started a couple months after they started coming up with the concept, and that literally lasted, like you said, nearly 21 weeks, or a little bit longer because we had some breaks in between. And I am sure as soon as they cracked that story, they started working on this particular story and the designs and all this other stuff. But you think about the concept of that. They have so little time. Even when you put it all together, they literally take weeks to come up with a story arc that can last half a year, a third of the year, an entire year. It's not enough time. I mean, that's a lot of story to tell, and it's not just him coming up with bullet points. It's not just Toritaro creating the manga and him working with him. It's not just Toei coming up with all of the extra filler stuff that they use to actually tell the story. Giving them time to actually come up with potentially so many more options for this particular series going forward. Potentially an entire arc that could last just as many episodes, but with way more depth, bringing us back to basically the Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z days would be epic. And then also so much mythology and so much lore and everything introduced in this arc that they can explore in the future. I want this arc to be super long, because even though this is basically chaos right now and all the fighting seems very sporadic, it's still really awesome to see everyone fighting. And look, we're only one episode in, and only 2 fighters out of 80 has been kicked off. They can literally push this for a year. And I'm sure even just hardcore fans like you and me, MJ, everyone listening to this, we would still be really excited, because we're going to see some of the coolest fights in Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball history in this particular tournament. I kid you not, I am so excited to see everything that comes from this.
I completely agree. And it's funny because people have been talking about, what if the tournament's a letdown? What if it's not what we expected? The thing about what makes this arc so cool is that even if the Tournament of Power is a letdown, I enjoyed the Zen Exhibition arc, part of this huge arc. I enjoyed the recruitment episodes, except for maybe like 1 or 2. So even if the Tournament of Power is a letdown, half of this arc, in my opinion, is still really good, like really, really amazing, at least in my opinion. So even if this whole lengthy arc, this whole huge tournament is a letdown, I would still enjoy this arc as a whole. But I mean, going back more into if it being like a minute an episode, the cool thing about it is that, like you mentioned to us, with the whole Goku Black stuff, it felt long, It felt long. We did have some, cool moments. I would actually say we did have one epic moment, but I mean, I don't want to start a debate here. But, we had some cool moments, and in my opinion, one epic moment, but it still felt long, dragged out, even though it was only like 21 episodes or 20 episodes. With the Tournament of Power, I can already think of one huge epic moment, and that's the Goku versus Jiren fight. And we haven't even gotten to that yet, but the build-up has been amazing. And I remember one of my friends on Discord actually told me this. He predicted that we're going to see Jiren like meditating like during the recruitment arc, and then right before the Tournament of Power starts, he's going to open his eyes, and we got that. That was actually like really cool. So, I can't wait to see this, because even though they're not like really thrown in our faces, oh, Jiren wants to fight Goku, or Goku wants to fight Jiren, because if you notice in episode 97, Goku's still focused on Toppo,
But he was going after Jiren at the end there.
He was going after Jiren. But he still goes, Toppo, fight me, or he's still making eye contact with Toppo. Yeah. Toppo's like, leave me alone, you weirdo.
I don't want to fight. Go fight that guy.
It's like every time Toppo looks over his shoulder, Goku's just there like glaring at him.
Goku's a creeper. Hashtag Goku's a creeper. Creeper
but
Goku.
No, my point is that even though they're not really throwing it in our faces, I mean, we already got it in the intro. They're not really throwing it in our faces as far as like in the arc. I'm still really hyped for that, and I feel like, judging off the way this arc started and judging off the way I know there was some criticism with the whole reused animation stuff. I feel like they're gonna bring their best people. I feel like it's gonna be a fight and for the ages. This is gonna be one of those things where even if you look back 20 years from now and you think to yourself Super was like, you're gonna think back to that long ass tournament and you're gonna think back to that one freaking piece of gold, Goku versus Jiren. You know what I mean? Even if they aren't the last 2, even if they don't win, I still think they're just gonna go at it. They're gonna throw down, and even like I said, even if the tournament's a letdown, even if it is too long, that's going to be something cool to look forward to, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, and I just want to kind of jump in here real quick and say, one, I will not say that this tournament has been a letdown. I personally think that this tournament has been the best thing about Dragon Ball Super in a very long time. The best thing about Dragon Ball in general, and that's not talking about just Dragon Ball Super, it's talking about Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dokkan Battle, Xenoverse, Dragon Ball Fighters. Like, I know, like, it's true. Like, this has made me hyped. I am legitimately excited to watch every single episode every single week. And if I'm being completely honest, I haven't been like that the entirety of Dragon Ball Super's run. Sometimes it just feels like it's dragging. Sometimes it's feeling like I don't necessarily care what happens week to week as long as I understand what's going on in the story. This time, I want to see every single moment, and I want to go back and rewatch these episodes over and over again, because we've gotten some really awesome character development. We've gotten to explore and kind of reintroduce ourselves to characters that we haven't been seeing or haven't been relevant in ages in all of Dragon Ball. This whole arc, if it were to end literally next episode, was worth it. Other than the fact that we would have missed out on all those fights and everything epic that potentially could come up, but it has been worth it to me, and I'm really glad that they're taking their time and expanding this as much as they have. And like you said earlier, stuff we've talked about, these characters, we can do cutbacks and cutaways and explore these characters in one way, shape, or form going through all of this. We can cut back to Trunks and Goten and Marin protecting this wildlife preserve. We can cut back to what Bulma and everyone else is doing, Dende, Popo, and all these other things that we can cut to, making this tournament go on for an entire year, giving them enough time to come up with an even better story in the next turn, like the next go around. And everything in between is just making me so excited to see exactly how they're going to play this out. And this, if anything, since it started in 2015, has been the epitome of what I wanted from Dragon Ball Super, and has made me feel like a freaking kid again, watching Dragon Ball and being like geeking out about every single episode and wanting to know how it basically plays out and how it's actually going to kind of all come together. I am so freaking excited, and if it is a minute in an episode, I am going to freak out. I am so excited about every single thing that they're doing here. I want to see more of it, and I want Goku and Jiren to fight very soon, leaving it up to even more epic battles further on in the tournament, especially if Goku loses, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. I can't even right now.
Man, that was a real pipe bomb you just dropped, or should I say a real bomb, pun intended.
This guy.
But anyway, I want to point this out because I know people are going to be thinking, well, Mark, MJ, a minute an episode, how are they going to cut away and like in real time there? You got to remember, guys, they could easily do some Quentin Tarantino magic where they cut and like the whole Goten, Trunks, and Marin stuff, it happens like within the full 48 minutes. You know what I mean? You can just do that and then cut back to the tournament. You can easily do stuff like that. Go back and forth. There's ways, cinematography. There's just ways you can cut it. It doesn't mean that whatever happens in Marin and Trunks and Goten doesn't happen within a minute. They could just do ways to work around it. I just wanted to point it out there because I know people will be bringing that up because I've seen that before about the whole cutaway stuff. So remember, they can work around it. And remember, don't throw the whole Toei isn't smart. Remember, they did that shit where they how Goku got killed in the beginning of the episode by Hit, and then they went backwards? That was pretty cool. So they can do stuff like that. There's, let's give Toei a bit more credit. they know what they're doing, sometimes. But I just wanted to point that out there. But yeah, I completely agree with you. I know people aren't going to agree with our opinion. I just think if it is a minute an episode, I cannot wait to hop on this ride and ride this shit for a year, dude. I'm going to be happy.
No, yeah, and one of the biggest criticisms I know, and I'll try to link it in the comment section or description section below, that you and I did a video about this, I'm pretty sure, where it was like a minute an episode, or like not a minute an episode, but more so like, are we going to actually see a long arc in Dragon Ball Super? And this could potentially be our first long arc, and it shows their commitment to Dragon Ball. It shows that Dragon Ball is profitable, and they think that they're actually going to be able to finish this story, and everything about it just seems really awesome to me as a fan of the series, as just someone who likes to speculate and theorize and just see things play out very slowly, but also very exciting chaos as it was. So I am excited. I hope everyone else is excited. Before we end this video, I want everyone to go down to the description section below. Please make sure to hit that link to go see MJ's channel. GeekListTV, guy makes some really awesome content for you guys. Dragon Ball anime content every single day. He's going to give you awesome comments, awesome fan interaction and just videos just in general. So guys, you're
sucking me off, bro.
I will never stop it. I will never.
All right.
Anyway, guys, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video out to all your friends, and also don't forget to hit that bell over by the subscriber button to notify you every single time I upload, because you're not going to want to miss anything that comes out of this channel. But with that being said, guys, we're going to catch y'all on the next video. It has been real. Bye.
In the fucking video already. I'm just kidding.
The Tournament of Chaos, to coin Nathan, the Frozen Particle. Or was that Dimsy?
That was Dimsy's domain.
Damn it! Okay.
Man.